Welcome to JWL Sports, where we review all the best sports clips from around the world. If this is your first time checking out a video, please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. Without further ado, let's get to it. We're watching a clip of First Things First, talking about the Chiefs, of course, right, with Nick Wright, and whether or not they should go all in for a three-peat, sign Mike Evans, and I guess kind of just not, I don't want to say mortgage the future, but just really be like, oh, do we just do everything we possibly can to make sure this wins, even if it means potentially sacrificing some years down the road. I'm really curious to see what they have to say, because it is a fascinating question. I don't know what the Chiefs would need to do in order to potentially go all in, what exactly that entails. So I would love to see them, see what their opinions are. We can unpack it from there, and let's get into it.
That makes sense. Chiefs. Ooh, and then two teams on the rise with high draft picks, the Bears and the Patriots. Nick, do you love Mike Evans on the Chiefs?
No, I don't want him on the Chiefs.
Wait, out of loyalty
you don't
to the
want
Big
Mike
Show?
Evans?
Well, listen, if he wanted to come play for $5 million, sure. But Mike Evans is too good to take anything like that type of contract. I think Mike Evans is going to cash in one more time to a big degree. And signing 30-year-old wide receivers entering year 11 is not the way the Chiefs operate. And I understand that all this season, in order to make football discussions,
This is not the way they operate. Let's please not act like the Chiefs have been having this dynasty of 20 years like the Patriots. We can say firmly what they do or don't do. That's just an absurd statement to make.
We pretended the Chiefs hadn't just won the Super Bowl with a nondescript receiving core. And now all offseason, in order to make football discussions work, we're going to have to pretend they haven't won back-to-back Super Bowls with nondescript receiving cores. But even if they have the money, which they can create because they can move Patrick's money.
You always do.
And this is where I'm going to, I understand it was my 2023 resolution. I might bring it back for 2024, be less humble. It's going to sound arrogant on behalf of the Chiefs. When you draft as well as the Chiefs have, you need the money to keep those guys. Creed Humphrey is about to get one of the biggest center contracts ever. Trey Smith is about to get a contract. L'Jarius Sneed, one of their draft picks. They might lose him because he's going to get a top of the market deal. Trent McDuffie is going to, a year from now, need a top of the market deal. They have drafted so well that these young players, they need the money for their second contracts. And so, guys, I would be looking at, because I think they're going to cut MVS. Super Bowl champ, 2 times over, great playoff performer, saves him $12 million. So a guy like Rashid Shaheed, Gabe Davis, someone like that is going to be inexpensive on maybe a prove-it deal. But Mike Evans at $25+ million a year, it's just not, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
No, I hear you. And I like what you said about Gabe Davis, Shaheed, because those guys, I think, with Mahomes, might become superstars. And that's what they need, because I know you like, and I like Rashee Rice, but he's more underneath. He can run after the catch. I would love to see them get a deep threat. And obviously, they can win the Super Bowl if they don't improve the receiving core. I mean, we don't know that they will, but they can. They've done it the last 2 years. Juju was good, but, he's not a great receiver. So you can't say they have to, but you guys know since the Super Bowl, I've been saying I want to see them go get a great receiver. And maybe one of those young guys, I get it. I like T. Higgins. He's only 25. Evans will be 31 in August.
He's going to get a monster deal.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. And that's why if they get one of the two you mentioned, I'm fine with it. But if I were them, I am looking for a deep threat receiver. Here's why. Not just to win it. And I get it. You win it, it doesn't matter. But I want to maximize Patrick Mahomes. We can still have, there's no law that you can't have a great defense and a great offense. And Mahomes carried them because of his greatness. They won it with them. But imagine, why can't
he did not carry them, especially this past season. The defense absolutely carried the Chiefs. This was absolutely a defensive-led Super Bowl run. That's not to say that Patrick Mahomes did not do brilliant things. It's not to say that Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid were not massive reasons and key reasons why they won. I've already said this a million times. I don't want to have to keep saying this. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are amazing and great. But it was the defense this last season that really stepped up and really made moves in the playoffs. And honestly, I'd also even argue that it was also a lot of the faltering of the opposing team's offense and less so about the defense. So this idea that the Chiefs are going to be able to do this again is such wishful thinking, okay? The Chiefs are very fortunate that they won the Super Bowl this year. I'm sorry if you're a Chiefs fan and you can't see that. They're very fortunate. They are deserving to win the Super Bowl, okay? They are deserving. They deserved it better, more so than every other team in the NFL this past season. And that's why they won the Super Bowl, okay? They were the most composed. They were the most experienced. They had the best coach and the best quarterback, right? Absolutely. But they easily could have lost. They easily could have lost to the Bills. They easily could have lost to the Ravens. They definitely easily could have lost in the Super Bowl. I still have this piece of paper that I just realized now. Christian McCaffrey fumble, the punt fumble, the missed extra point, the weird coin flip, abandoning the run. Okay? So this idea that you're going to be able to just kind of run it back or not really upgrade that much and you're still going to be able to win is just silly. That is wasting Patrick Mahomes. And again, if you want to say that I'm a hater for the Chiefs, listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying get better, build a better team so you can more guarantee that you're going to win, okay? If I was a true hater, I would say, yeah, go ahead, do it. Please, go ahead, do it. And then laugh when they lose. But to think that they have enough for what, or have what it takes, that's an illusion, okay? Just because you won and succeeded doesn't mean you, again, we have to look at it from a numbers game and a stats thing. Hopefully you can follow this, okay? The Chiefs, if we were able to run a simulation and look at how the Chiefs played this past season, the way their team was constructed, and the way how the games all unfolded. If we were to run a simulation, my guess is that the Chiefs win the Super Bowl 3 or 4 out of 10 times, okay? Meaning that they would lose the Super Bowl 6 or 7 times, okay? We just so happen to watch everything unfold exactly how, everything needed to unfold. That Super Bowl needed to unfold exactly how all those things needed to happen in order for the Chiefs to be able to win the Super Bowl. To think that all those things are going to happen again, the Joe Burrow injury, the whole defense being decimated for the Bills, the 49ers having, again, the multiple fumbles, the missed extra point, all of these things. To think that all of those things can happen again is just wishful thinking. And obviously it doesn't have to happen exactly like that. So save those types of comments. No one's saying that. But the other thing is that Travis Kelce is also older. He is on the decline, okay? He is on the decline. If you think that he's going to be able to play as good or better than he did this past season, wishful thinking. He is going downhill, okay? He's already talking about retirement. And once you start talking about retirement, it is on there, okay? So he is going to be, I predict that this next season, he's going to be struggling. He will be hanging on by a thread. He's going to be banged up. The whole thing is they're going to be like, I just hope we can have him going into the playoffs, right? That's going to be, from my viewpoint, the narrative. You can timestamp it here and quote me on it in September. That's really what I think is going to happen. He's not going to be able to be the hero. He's not going to be able to be making these amazing. He's still going to be great and still be able to do great things, but not consistently. So again, to go back to what I was saying about the Chiefs, they won this Super Bowl and are completely deserving. Hats off, all the credit to them. But again, looking at this, they were the 3rd seed. A lot of things had to happen. Joe Burrow injured. Steelers no quarterback. Freezing cold game with Miami Dolphins. A bizarre situation with the Denver Broncos. These other teams are going to be getting better. CJ Stroud is now better. Mark Ryans is now a second-year coach, not a first-year coach. CJ Stroud is not a first-year coach. He's a second-year coach. His OC is now working with Stroud for another year. You have the Broncos should be better. We know Justin Herbert and the Chargers are going to be better. If Joe Burrow is actually healthy, which is technically, a consistent question mark, they're going to be better. Like, you're going to have more competition. It should be harder. Josh Allen hopefully will be with an OC who's not going to be fired midseason, which is a huge deal. It is a massive deal. That cannot be understated. Getting a new OC in the middle of the season when your head coach is a defensive head coach is a big, big deal. Okay? So they hopefully won't be having those issues. So to think that if we keep everything constant, like maybe if you kept everything constant all around the league, then you would say, all right, listen, the Chiefs have, another 50% chance of winning the Super Bowl, which I would think it would be. I think it's less than that. You would say, okay, let's do it. But it's not. You have to imagine that the other teams around you are going to be better and that there hopefully won't be this whole, spiral of injuries, right? The Jets were a perfect example. The Jets would have been a better team with Aaron Rodgers. That's not a controversial statement to make. And the Jets almost beat the Chiefs with Zach Wilson, who is probably not even a second-string quarterback. Let me say it again. The Chiefs almost lost to the Jets with Zach Wilson. Do you really think that Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have been good enough in that moment to win that game? If you don't, I don't know what to say to you. So that's why, if you're a Chiefs fan, you should be like, I love the Chiefs. I love Patrick Mahomes. I love Andy Reid. That's why you can't beat us. But, whoo, that was a close one. Whoo, we were not as dominant as I would like. I want to be better. Yes, come on. I'm so sick of watching this whole season, watching all of our wide receivers drop these passes, watching Patrick Mahomes young on the sideline. Like, no, we need someone. Go out and get someone. You should want that. So to think that you can't is ego, or that you don't need that is ego and overconfidence and flying too close to the sun, thinking that, well, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid will just always find a way. That's not the reality. And guess what? It wasn't for Tom Brady either. And Tom Brady said, enough of this nonsense. I'm over this. Get me out of New England. And he went to Tampa Bay, who had a squad, who had weapons for him. And they still needed more. And then they had to go out and get AB. And then he was able to truly flourish and win the Super Bowl. And to think that you're just going to do that with Patrick Mahomes is it's ignorance. And don't waste a prime year of Patrick Mahomes. Don't be dumb. I'm not saying that you have to go out and get Mike Evans. I'm not some salary cap wizard here, but do what needs to be done. Also, it just keeps Patrick Mahomes happy and less stressed. He was coming apart, getting in fights on the sideline. So was Travis Kelce. Again, I know I'm right because you saw the fighting on the sideline. Travis Kelce multiple times. It's not just competition. It's feeling the pressure, feeling the lack of dominance that you once had. When you have the dominance, you're chilling at the top of the mountain. You're like, it's all right. We got you. Just wait. Just wait until Patrick gets the ball. Just wait. I got you. You only start freaking out on the sideline when you feel like you're losing control. When you really feel we can lose this game. Travis Kelce felt, again, if you don't believe me that they easily could have lost those games, that's why Travis Kelce was young on the sideline. Because if he thought that they were going to be winning either way or that they got this, he would not be freaking out like that. Patrick Mahomes would not be yelling on the sideline multiple times. Travis Kelce would not be slamming his helmet down. Those things don't happen. They only happen when you're either just a completely dysfunctional team, which I don't think they are, or you start to feel it slipping away. It's that simple. It really, really is that simple. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. Please let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So if you think what I'm saying is the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, please let me know in the comments below. If you think what I'm saying is the most amazing thing, then definitely please let me know. Either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time. And also, remember, I am not a Kansas City Chiefs hater, and I am not a Patrick Mahomes hater. Just so you know.